When is the last golf movie that has come out, though? Because I think you're right. I think that's what all of these period piece golf movies are about.
I think it's kind of a comedy. It's Phantom of the Open.
I haven't seen that one.
Came out in 2021, and it has Mark Rylance, and he plays the guy who just played the British Open in like 1976. Like he was a crane operator.
And just qualified?
No. This is before you had to qualify.
Oh, okay.
They wrote rules that you had to qualify to play in the Open
Because of this guy?
Oh, wow.
Did he do well?
No.
That's awesome.
Welcome to A Cast with No Name. We are your hosts. I'm Jay.
Matt.
I'm Coop.
This is episode 91, and this episode, we wash our balls, grip our shafts, and try to smoothly stroke toward a hole as we talk about golf movies.
It's pretty good on the fly.
Yeah, well, that is not on the fly.
Oh, wasn't it? You wrote that?
It. Yeah.
Not a boy.
It's called Delivery.
You told me upstairs that
No notes.
you were going in blind.
Oh, no.
You're freestyling.
Yeah, as far as movies that I watched.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not.
No, that's always gold. You always
the script
come
intro.
with the lines.
Yeah, I write two sentences and I'm good with the script.
All right, that's
so,
good.
Yeah.
Fair.
But don't forget, visit our website, castwithnoname.com, where you can visit our website.
Yep.
Listen to our entire episode library.
Yep.
Comment on episodes, write to our email, and you can also find us on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, which you probably already know because that's how you're listening to us now. And as always, thank you for listening.
Thank you. What episode are we on now?
91.
Jeez.
You guys have been here for a while.
No.
Yeah.
We're getting a cache of content. Just
full of it.
Woo! But yeah, it's been
Did you watch the Masters?
yeah, yes.
Of course you did.
Yes, I did. Downloaded the app.
I watched it with one eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler won.
Take a nap? Did you?
I was at work, so like, I'd run out, catch it on TV for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
have to go back. Yeah, I have to go back to it. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler won.
Yes.
Yep.
Mr.
First-
Personality.
First
Mr.
one,
Personality.
just had a kid, right?
Yep.
Yep.
No, he's about to have
Big
a
year,
kid.
or about to have a kid.
About to have a
Yeah.
kid. He said he would have left if.
Oh yeah, if his wife
were
had
in
gone
labor.
into, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's fair. People are like, this is not what golf needs. They need someone with personality. Like, really? Tiger Woods had personality? Really?
Well, he had his fist bumps.
Okay. Scotty Scheffler, gets excited when he wins something. Maybe
Yeah.
not after every hole, but
A little bit. What they need is a rock star because people knew, but they didn't know.
yeah.
That's what Tiger Woods brought. And then with the whole sexcapade thing, I think people are like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean, not at the time. I remember when it came out, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And everyone had to give their 2 cents of, "Oh, this is ridiculous." And
I know. Well, I immediately thought of like, okay, so they want Happy Gilmore? Is that who they're looking for?
Yeah, well, I don't know, because I see that too. I see like everyone say, "Oh, it's a boring, like he's boring when he wins and everything." Is because they're more stoic than. I mean, they just don't show a lot of emotion, which
That's
is fine, I guess. I don't know.
Does golf need someone like Happy Gilmore though?
No, I think when I guess the way I interpret it to where people saying, "Oh, it's boring when he wins," is because he does what everyone else can do, but he does it really, really well.
It shows no emotion.
Well, no, it doesn't really have to do with the emotion part, but it's just more when you watch him play and then you watch Tiger Woods. Like when Tiger Woods was exciting, not because of his lack of emotion or his fist bumps, but I think it was because he was doing things with the golf ball that that was just ridiculous compared to everybody else in the field. And I think that's what made it exciting. And the fact he was younger.
And his name was Tiger.
He had a cool name.
Not too many black people out there on the golf course either. Yeah.
That was a huge thing at the time.
Yeah.
And then,
because he won the Masters when he was 21, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure he was 21.
Yeah. 21, 22.
Yep.
And yeah, because that was like 97.
Yeah.
But I think that's why Tiger was exciting, is because it was entertaining for him to watch him because of just how good he was compared to everybody else.
Yeah,
and
that's
now it's like everyone is kind of at that Tiger spot, and it's weird because no one really stands out.
Right.
because everyone is now doing what he was able to do really well and what he brought to the
Yeah.
table. That's the way I read into it.
Because people always are like, okay, so if it's not Scotty Scheffler, people are always talking about Rory, and I'm like, well, Rory isn't exactly boisterous. He's not like fist pumping after every. He's not any more charismatic than Scotty Scheffler is. So it didn't make sense. I feel like they're just trying to shit on Scotty Scheffler here for no reason.
And they said the same thing, I think 2 years ago when he won the Masters. Like, oh, it's boring. But like, if Scotty hits like a bad shot, like you won't. It doesn't visibly bother him to where when Rory does, or Morikawa, and any of these other guys, they
vent.
Yeah, they vent. They'll cuss. They'll like throw clubs. Like, oh god, oh, and that kind of a thing. But I don't know. I think it's just everyone is at such a level right now. It's kind of gone back to the way it was before, to where it feels boring because that newness of that extra talent or the science behind it and everything is now leveled the playing field.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So which golf movies did you watch, Coop?
I watched Happy Gilmore, of course, Caddyshack, 7 Days in Utopia, and The Greatest Game Ever Played.
Wow.
Nice. That's more than what I watched.
Decent spread, yeah.
I watched Tin Cup, Happy Gilmore, and Legend of Bagger Vance.
Okay. I watched Tin Cup, Happy Gilmore.
In order of decreasing.
And then after that, I was like, oh, well, I'm going to watch other golf. But I've seen Bagger Vance. I've seen The Greatest Game Ever Played. I was thinking about watching Bobby Jones' Stroke of Genius.
Saw the trailer, and
the trailer was dog shit. I was like, I do not want to watch this. It felt like a made-for-TV version of The Greatest Game Ever Played, or The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Right. Didn't Disney produce that?
The Greatest Game Ever Played?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Which that one was directed by Bill Paxton, I believe. Pretty sure. Yeah. Bill Paxton directed that one. And then, Robert Redford did Bagger Vance or whatever. Yep. But I don't know. By the time I remember watching them before, and I'm like, I don't like period pieces for golf movies for some reason.
Huh.
I don't know why. Just
the period probably doesn't contribute a whole lot to the storyline.
It doesn't.
Right? Like if it's in the 40s or the 90s or whatever, like that really doesn't have anything to do with what they're doing out on the golf course or the story itself. Yeah.
And because you could take the same story, just put it in present day,
right.
and
it transcends time.
It's about life. Golf is life. But it's always especially, I mean, I get they're based on true stories, at least. Greatest Game Ever Played was, and it just turns into, I'm not a fan of period pieces in sports movies because they always make a reference to like air or something. They always say something that like, oh, I'm going to call it Nike Air. Oh, that's a horrible name. Get it? Because it's a great name for a shoe. So they always do that shit. I feel like they always like do a callback to where they either shit on something that is apparently blows up and becomes really, really popular, or they make reference to, oh, this could be something amazing, but no one really recognizes, I feel like, half the time how amazing something is until you're way past it and looking back on it.
Right.
But the one exception to this, I think, League of Their Own, I think did it perfectly as far as having a period piece, but have it be about the characters. Period piece helped it tell the story, and worked out really, really well. But golf movies, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm just like, they feel the same. It doesn't feel, I don't know. It's usually like, he's too poor to play here.
That's fair.
This is a game for gentlemen.
That's exactly what The Greatest Game was. Like, the poor Scottish family, they can't walk across the street and play 9 holes of golf here. Like, it's.
I can carry his bags, but I can't swing a club.
I don't know. It's how kid. Yeah.
When is the last golf movie that has come out though? Because I think you're right. I think that's what all of these period piece golf movies are about.
There was one.
Can't let the pores play
Yeah.
here.
There
That's what they all
was one I kind of want to watch because I think it's kind of a comedy. It's Phantom of the Open.
I haven't seen that one.
Came out in 2021, and it has Mark Rylance, and he plays the guy who just played the British Open in like 1976. Like
Okay.
he was a crane operator.
And just qualified?
No. This is before you had to qualify.
Okay.
They wrote rules that you had to qualify to play in the Open
Because of this guy?
of this guy.
Oh wow.
Did he do well?
No.
That's awesome.
This is his first game I ever played, and he sucked.
That's awesome.
But like, and he was just like playing for the shits of it,
Yeah,
and kind of making everyone else look like a fool because they were getting all upset and everything else.
Right.
But I think that's probably one of the more notable recent ones. But again, I don't think it had a wide release. I think it was just an independent movie. But yeah, you don't get a lot of golf.
Doesn't drive the box office, does
No,
it?
I wouldn't think so. No.
Yeah.
But I think part of the problem is they try to play it up because every time you do a golf movie or some sport that has a lot of heritage, they always draw it back to the honor of the game, and then they
Yeah.
always try to equate it with like, well, golf is life, and they always have that speech in there.
It's a philosophy. It's a state of mind.
Right.
Yeah, and it's
absolutely.
like, well, playing golf is a lot like your love life. You need to, and then I don't know. It always goes
Pretentious?
that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always tries to make it more important than what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
And I must say, the Legend of Bagger Vance, that's the problem with it. That's what it suffers from. It's way too pretentious.
yeah,
To the point where it's like, it oozes out of it to where I'm like, all right, stop. Stop with the nickel and dime philosophies and the just when Matt Damon's having a tough time on the course, here comes Bagger Vance to throw his little like philosophy nugget in there, so he makes the putt. It's just like, stop. I can't watch this anymore. This is so
He
stupid.
wouldn't have made it without Will
I
Smith
know.
whispering in his ear.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's pieces of that movie that I liked. Like I like the golf aspect of it, to where he's like moving the putter back and forth, and Will Smith, I forget, is he's talking to the kid or I think he's talking to the kid, and young Jack Lemmon, and he's telling him, it's just like envision the ball going into the hole, feel the stroke of the putt, and he has him going back and forth, closing his eyes, so he drops the ball, hits the ball, and it goes into the cup.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff I liked. But yeah, the magical coming out of the fucking field, like Field of Dreams, and like, how you doing there, Missla? And it's like trying really hard for an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's the magical black man thing, and I remember the first time I saw it. I think I was
Magical black man.
I was probably in college,
Um,
and I was wondering
yeah.
who the fuck that guy was. And then when he shows up, spoiler alert for Bagger Vance, when Jack Lemmon dies because of a heart attack,
Yeah.
and then he sees Bagger Vance off in the distance, I was like, so was he a ghost like the whole time?
I think that's
And I think it was just a representation of, that was his greatest time in his life, and he's kind of going off into the cornfield.
which is sad, isn't it? The greatest time in your life is when
You were
before you're-
8.
when you were 8 years old. That sucks.
Peaked at 8.
That's the message of the movie. After 8 years old,
It's never gonna get better.
it just goes downhill. You might as well just kill yourself.
I like the concept of the story.
Yeah.
Somebody with PTSD comes back from war, was a good golfer,
Yeah.
didn't. I guess the period piece could work a little bit for that. But
I think you really have to like golf to like that movie.
yeah, I feel like the way it was presented was it took itself way too seriously. And I mean, they could have done that story for any sport. Cut out Bagger Vance. You don't need the magical person showing up to teach you about life. And if it was just him struggling with his own demons and finding a reason to want to play again, I mean, I think it would have been a stronger story without just the cheese, I guess.
Mhm.
But
So, Coop, you watched, what was it called? 7 Hours of Utopia?
7 Days in Utopia.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's.
Did you see it? Have you ever
No,
seen
I
it?
didn't. I remember the
Okay.
trailer though because I was watching all the. I was like, maybe something's gonna pop out
Sure.
at me that I'm like, nope.
I got to look this up.
It,
But it has a guy from Tokyo Drift.
yeah.
He still has that fucking accent. Which
That's
maybe-
who he is.
That's just how he talks?
Yeah, that's how he talks. Because it has to be. Because that's
That
how he
poor
talks
bastard.
in every single movie. Right. Sounds like a fucking hick. Anyway, he.
And if you're from
He-
the South, we're talking about you too.
Yeah, that's right.
Three of you.
It's the Karate Kid, but with golf. Instead of learning
Oh,
karate.
is it?
Yeah, almost. It could be a shot for shot.
Yeah.
Instead of learning karate, he's learning golf. He finds himself in this little town, Utopia. He his truck runs over a fence. Robert Duvall becomes his Mr. Miyagi, and teaches him golf. He meets the local girl. Well, the local bad boy liked the girl, so now he's in it with the. You know what I mean? it's just
like Tokyo Drift.
It's just like Karate Kid. It's just like Tokyo Drift. It was just so disappointing.
Beat for beat.
This
Yeah.
is what I got. So when I watched the trailer, I was like, because he crashes into a fence or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, and it's Robert Duvall's. I was like, this is Doc Hollywood. You guys ever see that movie?
It's been a long time.
Oh my, same story.
Doesn't he get amnesia or something?
No. So we'll go back to 7 Days in
Sure,
Utopia.
yeah.
Doc
you're good.
Hollywood, really quick, is Michael J. Fox is driving. He's a big time surgeon, and he has a job interview in L.A. that he's going to go to, and he's driving because he didn't fly cross country. He's driving his little sports car, runs into a fence, ruins a fence, and the owner of the guy who built the fence is like, "What are you doing? This is my fence." He's like, "Sorry, I'll just pay it." And he's like, "Nope, I'm going to take you to court." And then it turns out the guy whose fence he busted is the judge. And he's like, "Isn't this a conflict of interest?" "Nah, community service." And so he has to be a doctor in the small town. And so as he's a doctor in the small town, he befriends and gets romantically entwined with the ambulance driver, more or less. And they hit it off. And it's like, oh, should he leave for the big city or should
Yeah.
he stay
Stay
in the
here.
small
Yeah.
town?
It's like a
And-
Hallmark movie almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny. It's got Michael J. Fox in it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah,
That bumps it up a full point.
Yeah.
Just MJ being in it. Yeah.
that was the sense I got from the movie. But anyway, 7 Days in
Yeah,
Utopia.
well, I mean, we pretty much covered it. I mean,
Does it end the way
It's-
the Karate Kid
it's,
ended, where he
yeah.
triumphs over
well,
the
absolutely.
bag? Does he
Of
crane kick
course.
him?
No, he does a weird golf swing that no one's ever. He's like, I haven't done this since '48. It's too dangerous. That's an illegal swing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great watch. I mean, it's rated G. If you've got kids in middle school or early high school, they would probably enjoy it. But
Right.
yeah, I caught on to the
Gotcha.
Hollywood trope too quick, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm just watching Karate Kid here.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let's get it over with. Yeah.
There's not a lot of shit talking back and forth.
Nah, not
Get
too
the
much.
fuck away from
Nah,
my
nah.
girl.
Just a lot of huffing and puffing. It's rated G, so it's just a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
huffing and puffing, and like, she was supposed to go to the hoedown with me. And,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I'm
She's my sister. I
called it.
I'm gonna give you a knuckle sandwich if you don't play your cards right, mister.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it's a kids movie.
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What were the other ones you saw? The greatest game ever played.
The greatest game ever played, which was good. That's a good movie too. I enjoyed it. I like Shia LaBeouf. I don't know. He kind of gets shit for being I guess
I think he's a good
He's
actor.
kind of crazy, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good actor. Yeah, he's good in it.
It has Elias Koteas in it too, doesn't it? He plays father, does he?
Let's see.
You're referring to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
Oh, Casey
Casey Jones. Yeah.
with a golf
That's
club.
right, with a
I-
golf club.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which yeah, he swapped out the hockey stick for a golf.
Casey
club.
Jones.
But yeah, it's Shia LaBeouf wants to be a professional golfer. He lives across the street from this prestigious golf course, and he caddies there. And he does well enough that they're like, "Hey, we want you on this tour."
They're like, let this poor kid play.
Let this poor kid play, yeah. And so people travel from all around the United States to come. From around the world, sorry, to come play this. And they're like, "Wait, he's just a caddy. He can't play." And he's like, "I can do it," And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he goes out there and plays and
beats the
and
shit
beats
out of
everybody.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's the
they
US
raise
Open.
it. They raise him up on the shoulders, and his caddy's like an 8-year-old, and everybody's cheering for these kids. And, yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Does the U.S. Open still allow you to qualify for it no matter what?
Yes.
If you
You have to. win certain tournaments or certain events to be able to qualify
Okay,
for
all
it.
right.
But yeah,
You have to win, or do you have to
I don't
place?
know.
With, okay.
I am not good enough at golf to really research
Look into it.
Yeah, look into it because I know I don't have a shot in hell with my gentleman's handicap of 47. But yeah, Elias Codius is. Am I saying it right? Yeah, played his father.
Okay.
So yeah,
Nice.
but
Other than that, what else did you watch? Happy Gilmore?
Happy Gilmore, of course, and Caddyshack.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Caddyshack is not a real movie,
yes, correct.
from what?
That-
the man
Oh,
in
it's
my
not
life.
a real?
It's not. It's not a.
not a
real,
movie.
It's not a movie.
What is it?
It's a collection of short skits from SNL
That
and
all take
National
place on the
Lampoons
same
that take
on the
place
same
at a golf
place.
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
I haven't seen that movie in a
Hilarious.
long time. Does it still hold up? Is it still
Oh,
funny?
absolutely. Rodney Dangerfield. His one-liners are fucking hilarious.
Oh, it looks good on you though.
He's got some Italian kid at his caddy. He's like, "Oh, this is considered skilled labor for an Italian." It's just his nonstop stuff like that.
I don't know why I remember, but I always remember his golf bag having a radio, and he's like, "It's time to party!"
Yeah, everybody just starts dancing on the green.
So
people-
what? So let's dance.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Who's the antagonist of that movie? What's his name?
Oh, the old coon.
The old-
he
the
plays
Judge-
the old coon.
Judge Smails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ted Knight.
Ted Knight. Yeah,
Judge
that's right.
Smalls.
Ted
Yeah.
Knight.
Yeah.
God.
Who doesn't want all these crazy guys coming to the golf course and
Yeah.
Chevy Chase is just gold in it. You know, everything he does is hilarious too.
Yeah, of course. I remember there being like a big uproar because Chevy and Bill Murray were only in like one scene together in the entire movie.
Yeah. When they're in Bill Murray's
Yeah.
quote unquote house, the shack
Whatever it
that he
was.
lives in, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty good interaction with them about talking about his hybrid grass and have a seat. No, I wouldn't want to stick to anything. Thanks though. And yeah,
Yeah.
Great one-liners.
yeah, the whole movie. Yeah, every skit was genius.
Every skit.
Every skit.
So you agree that it's just a series of skits?
I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, it pretty much is. There's the underlying story of the
Yeah.
kid, the caddy kid who comes out and meets the big guy's daughter and
Yeah.
has a crush on her and all that stuff like that. I mean, that was a good storyline.
I
I
feel like
thought,
there was-
but yeah, everything else was kind of, now that you mentioned it, is kind of like just on the side of it. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, you don't really care what happens to these other people. They're all rich. They're all good looking. They pretty much get what they want. So like, you're not really invested in them, but they're funny to watch interact with each other. And so you're kind of still, the whole movie, you're rooting for the kid.
Right.
The kid.
I remember the judge's daughter gets with the
Niece.
What's that?
Yeah, his niece.
His niece
because
gets
his niece is visiting.
his niece
Yeah,
gets
that's
with
what it
the main antagonist of the what's his name, Bobby? I don't even remember his name.
is.
I want to say Bobby because everyone's name's Bobby.
Danny Noonan.
Danny
Danny
gets
yeah.
with Danny.
Yeah.
And then she wants to get with Chevy too, right?
Yep.
I remember that being weird. Like, what?
Yeah,
What's going on?
she's just the
She's like
town
12.
bicycle.
What's Chevy doing over here?
The
Times were different back
Yeah, I
in
guess
the
you're right.
70s. Yeah.
the hell was I gonna say? I forget. Don't even know. Oh no, I feel like when they were writing the movie, they had a story. They were like, "Oh, let's make comedy. Great. All right. Well, we need a real story. All right. Well, let's have a caddy who's trying to make money for college and."
He was worried about making $8,000 a year too. By the way, for college, that was through the roof back then.
Wow.
Sorry to interrupt. Go
No,
ahead.
but so like that was the main storyline. And I feel like everyone just kept on piling on funny shit that could happen, and it just drowned out everything because Danny wins the game.
yeah,
Does he make enough for college?
I guess we don't know.
Yeah, you don't
yeah,
know.
we
'cause
don't- yeah.
Didn't matter at that
Didn't
time.
matter. Yeah.
Everyone is so cooked out of their heads by the time
Yeah.
they finish this movie.
I think we were all just so relieved for him that his girlfriend, in fact, was not pregnant.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that subplot.
his
We're like, fuck college. This kid's golden.
his
It'll
Irish
all work out.
girlfriend that had an accent that
She was like a Scottish
then-
accent?
then
Yeah,
came
yeah.
back and then left. I felt like it wasn't always there, but I think it was just certain inflections that she had.
Yeah.
But
Because Harold Ramis directed it, right? And he wrote it too?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
it was the National Lampoon's crew. I think.
oh yeah, totally.
You're talking about them piling things on. Like, I think that between Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, and Rodney Dangerfield, like, they were probably just ad-libbing so much stuff.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were like, okay, let's keep this, or like, go ahead and keep running with that, like, completely off script, like, because that's just how those guys operate.
Which
Yeah.
Ted Knight, if you ever saw him in Mary Tyler Moore, he is hilarious in
Yeah.
that show. Like he plays like the main newscaster, and he plays a dipshit.
I always remember liking that show.
And he's really good at it. And so I imagine, because I think most everybody in that movie came from a comedic background.
Right, yeah.
And even like the serious characters.
I do remember watching a documentary of the making of that movie, and Coke came up multiple times.
I'm sure.
dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
can you
everyone-
imagine? Can you imagine?
It was probably on the buffet table.
Probably.
Yeah.
Hey, we gotta make a movie. Oh, that's right.
Oh shit. Oh, yeah.
I forgot.
Hold on, let me bump up.
Hey, yeah.
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 But we all watched Happy Gilmore.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. It might be I thought Big Daddy was my favorite Adam Sandler movie, but I think Happy Gilmore is officially. I haven't seen it in a long time, and I was laughing my ass off most of the
same.
movie.
Even though I knew
makes
what
me
was
laugh.
coming, I
Makes me laugh.
still laughed just as hard as.
Well,
yeah.
I would focus more on like his reactions to things, and it made me laugh harder because I know the punchline that's coming, so I'm paying more closely attention to like the acting,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was pretty good. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite Adam Sandler movie, but I am surprised how much better acting he got in such a short period of time, because he had Billy Madison. I think this was his second movie.
Yeah.
Abby Gilmore, and then shortly after this, he had the
Water Boy.
the
Or the
Water
Wedding
Boy,
Singer-
the
Wedding
Wedding
Singer.
Singer,
Yeah.
the Water Boy,
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, and like all felt like within like 5 years or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And by the time he got to the Wedding Singer, I feel like he really started, because I could tell in Happy Gilmore his acting was
Yeah.
it's still like rough,
Kinda,
but
yeah,
the
amateurish.
Wedding Singer, he starts nailing it, and by the time he gets to, I feel like 51st Dates, it's in Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
everything.
I thought
Like,
he was
he's just,
excellent in
like
Punch Drunk Love. Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing that kind of threw it off for me. But yeah, his reactions to like tore one of them bastards' eyes out. Oh my god!
You're pretty sick, Chubbs. I like the little subtle things where it's like, hey, Gilmore, meet me on the 9th green at 9. And where's something nice? He's like, oh, all right.
No, secretly
The invaders game is calling my name from the arcades.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he just leaves. Yeah.
Yeah, little things like that are. And I feel like Adam Sandler movies. I think this might be the point where, and maybe I'm wrong, but like Little Nicky maybe is where they took it overboard. But he always has these characters in his movies that are just absurd. Like the one that comes to my mind is like the first one that stands out is like Mr. Deeds. Remember Steve Buscemi plays like this crazy
The guy with the
eyes,
crazy- yeah.
where it's like no one like that actually exists, but it's just in an Adam Sandler movie is
yeah.
where they would be. This movie doesn't really have anything like that, really. There's like the guy who's a little absurd, who's like, you jackass, like
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
He's a little over the top,
Rest
but
in
he's
peace.
not like
Maybe the homeless
no,
guy a little
yeah.
bit.
homeless guy a little bit.
I think it slips to the left. Yeah, that's because you're only wearing one shoe.
Or they have these cutaways where these cutaway gags that are supposed to make you make you laugh because they're just absurd. Like where they cut away after the Endless Love thing, and it's
Yeah.
the guy in the Zamboni who's like singing it. Like it's things like that where it's like, why are they doing that?
Well,
They don't do it. They do it a ton in his movies
Yeah.
now. Like, have you ever seen Grown Ups?
Yeah. Oh,
In every scene, it's like they're like say something funny, and then they cut away to like an absurd
Like-
character.
like
It's
a random
I
character."
just pooped in my pants.
it sounds horrible.
The shock laugh is
It's
what
the
they're
shock
going,
laugh. Yeah, I don't know why they. Anyway,
Because it works, I guess, or it worked back
but like,
then. I don't know.
like Ben Stiller's character would be something like that, but it's not absurd. You could envision somebody like that existing.
Oh, for sure.
because he plays it like on the very edge of like absurd to like, oh, this guy might actually be
Yeah.
kind of real. He's
the abusive
abusive, like-
Po folks attendant. Yeah.
Anybody else's fingers hurt? The,
no, I didn't think so.
rewatching this though, I enjoyed. I mean, Ben Stiller, Shooter McGavin, and Chubbs.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like steal the whole movie.
Yeah.
I mean, because Happy Gilmore's fine and he has
Yeah.
some funny moments, but I feel like the hilarity comes from all the antagonists.
Sure.
Like throughout the movie.
Yeah,
Especially Shooter McGavin.
absolutely.
Like, He is so good.
I love the bar scene where
He breaks the bottle. He's, I just found this piece of
before
bottle.
he does that, he's like, "Oh, you'd really kill one of those long drive competitions. Yeah, I think all the money you'd make." He's like, "I know what you're doing, and I don't like it." And he takes a sip of his beer. He's like, he thought it would work. Don't turn your back on me. I'm in on the golf course.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm in on the golf course.
I was looking for the other half of this bottle, and there's some there, and put it down. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's awesome.
It did not feel like that. I remember that movie came out. It felt more absurd coming out in 96?
96.
Than it does coming out now.
No. Yeah.
I feel like if it came out now, like you watching like some tour. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Waste Management.
No,
tour.
No.
They had to pull it back this year because like some of the pros were like talking shit back to the fans.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Because I mean, the Waste Management has always been like, oh yeah, come here, get drunk. And then like they set up like there's a par 3 that like everyone is like sitting around like an arena and everyone's throwing like beer cans and shit like that on the course.
God.
And it got out of hand this year, I guess. But it feels like that.
Yeah.
And to where I was watching the movie, I was like, this doesn't feel that out of the ordinary. I mean, you have the guy saying jackass in the backswing, but now you have like everyone and their douchey ass brother yelling mashed potatoes and get in the hole like off the tee and stuff. Yeah. You don't see it during the Masters, thank God, because they'll just kick you out and ban you. But any other tournament, every time someone makes a shot, you always have some asshole get in the hole, mashed potatoes, Bubba Booey, and every time it's probably the same 6 fuckers that do that. But it didn't seem as far-fetched as like, oh, that would be ridiculous if that. I mean, because it kind of does happen now to some extent.
Yeah, and just the lines, like they hit home. You know, if you play golf and you understand like just how hard it is, where you know he gets a hole in one on a par 4, and he's like, "Oh, that was way easier. I should just hit it in the hole the first time every time." It's like, yeah, that would be easy.
And
just the struggle of putting, how he sucks at it, like that's so relatable. Like everyone is terrible at putting for the most part.
With his power swings, I'm surprised he's not blading like a wedge 160 yards past the green like any normal human being would do on a given time. Because that was my rewatching this after playing golf more than the first time that I watched the movie. I was like, well, that would be an issue. That would be an issue. Like as far as like, oh, he can hit it really far. It's like, but what happens when he gets closer? How does he manage his distance?
He hits it so it's with such touch, Jay, that it nicks it. So
he's got a great feel.
It just pops up in the air. Yeah. But no, it might be my favorite Adam Sandler movie now.
It's up there for sure.
Makes me laugh the hardest.
It's pretty funny. It made me laugh more than what I thought it would. But it had been like, I don't know, probably 10 years since
you've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people. Will Sasso plays one of the moving.
Oh yeah, the moving guys. Yeah.
Yep.
That gets the whole ball rolling. No pun intended.
Right.
Yeah.
He normally has a ton of his buddies in his movies, and I think the only one I remember seeing in this one was his caddy, the homeless caddy.
Yep.
Alan Covert. But other than that, I don't.
He probably didn't have as much say in these earlier movies.
Yeah,
as he
maybe
does,
not.
like casting wise, as he does today. You know.
Yeah, because these were still like, I think.
Who are these produced by?
I mean, Lorne Michaels. I feel like was probably produced quite a few of his.
I think he did,
especially early on.
I think he did.
His Happy Madison production company came out.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Lorne did Billy Madison.
The
7.0 on IMDb. Happy Gilmore. It's got to be the highest rated
Adam Sandler
movie.
No, Wedding Singer.
You think Wedding Singer is?
Wedding Singer, and I feel like 50 First Dates would probably be better.
You're just a hopeless romantic, Jay.
Yeah.
I think he's better with Drew Barrymore.
I mean, they have great chemistry.
Wedding Singer's only a 6.9.
Did you ever watch Blended?
No, I didn't because I didn't.
That's pretty bad.
Oh, actually, I think I think I saw it once when it first came out, and I was like, this is not what I was looking for.
It gets, again, it's like where he has these absurd side characters and he amps them up to 11, and I don't know why. Anyway, Wedding Singer's 6.9.
What?
Yeah. 50 first dates. Here we go. Let's see. And the survey says 6.8.
Jesus.
Yeah, Billy Madison's Lane.
Just a bunch of Neanderthals, Jay, on IMDb rating movies.
Yeah. Who put these people in charge?
What say you, sir?
I'm sure Uncut Gems is rated more, but I wouldn't call that. How's it compared to The Waterboy?
Oh, Waterboy's 8.0. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
6.1.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That the Waterboy did so well is because everyone associated Adam Sandler with like just being angry, like beating people up in his early movies, and then he kind of obviously got away from that. But
the little trivia for you, Vern Lindquist, who plays the announcer,
retired.
He retired.
Yeah,
this the Masters was his last thing. There's a picture of Tiger shaking hands with the tree.
Yeah. Jeez.
I mean, it is. You see a tree trunk and a hand sticking out, and Tiger shaking it, and it's Vern standing behind a tree or whatever.
Oh boy!
Not that he's like hiding like
right.
a creeper.
Yeah, it's just the angle of the photo. Yeah.
But so me and you watched Tin Cup.
Yes. Have you seen it?
I've never seen it.
What?
Feel free to discuss.
Sure. I hadn't seen it in a long time, Jay. This is the second time I've ever seen it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was all right.
You thought it was fine?
That's fine. I didn't like Kevin Costner.
You didn't like him?
No.
Really?
I thought he was a dick.
Well, yeah.
And I liked his friend so much. I'm like, why are you hanging out with this prick?
Oh,
he doesn't listen to anything.
Romeo?
Cheech Marion, yeah. He doesn't listen to anything you're saying. He just ignores you all the time.
Yeah.
And you're just there. Like, dude, come on. I don't know. I just didn't like Kevin Costner's character. He was annoying me.
Yeah.
He was annoyingly confident.
So was he like a pro going into this, or was
he was like
an up and comer, like an underdog?
He had a great potential.
Okay.
Right, and the movie starts off with him. He runs a driving range that's just run down, and he's a golf pro. And some lady comes up, Renee Russo, asking for golf lessons.
Nice.
And the romance ensues.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. That's another problem with the movie. It's just like the romance is like it's just boom, like they're in love.
Together. Yeah,
they're together. They love each other. No build up. Yeah, they do. They do, Jay.
He's more like
even Nicole said it. She's like, so they're just in love. I'm like, yeah, that happened kind of quick, didn't it? They didn't really build up on it.
Well, they built up on it a little bit. Like it happened for him a lot faster than it happened for her to him. But I mean, it's just it's pacing. It's getting the movie going. You gotta spark that because it's their love story, but it's also like his story as far as golf goes. But I mean, they gotta match it up pretty quickly.
Yeah. Kevin Costner didn't learn anything. No. Didn't grow one bit.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Nope. Because so he plays he's
not a dynamic character then.
He's a golf pro, but golf pro in the sense of he gives lessons to people.
Okay.
And he played in college, and he wasn't successful because he couldn't get out of his own way. He would take shots to prove that he could do shots, to like either prove it to himself or prove it to somebody else or whatever. I mean, he was very competitive and he always played to win, but he never played smart. But anyways, Renee Russo comes to get golf lessons, and then they find out blah blah blah, shit happens, and she is currently dating his old college teammates on golf.
Okay. Yeah.
Like who played by Don Johnson. He's a professional golfer. It's her, like they're dating.
Gotcha.
And so Tin Cup and Don Johnson have a history and everything else. And
yeah.
and all
so
that.
why did she go to Kevin Costner for lessons? Why isn't Don Johnson teaching her to?
Unexplained.
Oh, okay.
Unexplained.
Gotcha.
But if he's a professional golfer, he's probably playing all the time, too busy doing his own thing. Like, damn it, I don't have time teaching. She's probably learning because there's a bit in the movie to where she explains that she always kind of went and kind of changed herself for whoever she was dating.
Okay.
And to where she hops from profession to profession. She's like, yeah, for a while I was dating this cowboy, which seems a lot more romantic than what it actually is. And now I'm dating this golf guy. And to where she was a real estate before she was a therapist before. So she's kind of fickle too.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
So then Don Johnson asks Kevin Costner to caddy for him in a tournament because no one knows these
Right.
holes as
Like Tin
well
Cup
as
does.
Tin Cup
Yeah.
does. And he gets fired from it. And then he realizes that you can make the U.S. Open by just qualifying for it. So then he qualifies for it. And he sets his goal is to win the Open. And then he gets to this point where he's ahead in the Open. There's this difficult shot to make the green. It's a par 5 in 2 shots.
Okay.
But it's over water, and everyone's safe. They lay it up to make it,
Sure.
make the birdie.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's like, no, I'm going
No, I'm
for
going
it.
for it.
I'm
Absolutely.
going for
you
it.
have to.
spoilers,
It
by
wouldn't
the
be a
way.
movie if he didn't
Yeah.
go for it. Yeah.
So he's like 3 shots up. All he has to do is lay it up, and he's going to win the Open. But
Yeah.
he's got to hit.
He's got
that
to
shot.
prove it. Yeah.
He's got to.
Get in his own way again.
Fast forward, and then his own caddy, who he's fought with this entire movie, like he's walked off a bunch of times, like, you never fucking listen to me, like blah blah blah. So anyway, he's pleading with him, like, just lay up. Would you just listen to me
Just
one
listen to me
time?
one
And he's
time,
like,
sure.
no, fuck you. And I'm like, dude, at that point, I'm like, this guy's a dick. Anyway, so it's like 11 shots. He duffs it in the water, and then the 12th time, he finally hits it. Everyone
Yeah.
cheers. It's a
Well,
happy
he hits it
ending.
and makes it in the hole
Yeah,
from like
But-
150 yards out.
it's stupid.
See,
he
I-
lost
But,
the Open.
but in 12 strokes?
And yeah, he lost the
So he
Open.
lost it because he
Yeah,
once again
he
got
came
in
in
his own
like
way.
he came in like I don't know 25th or
Oh
something.
my god.
Yeah,
What a jerk off.
I know.
Yeah, that would
But
piss
here,
me
all
off
right.
too.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
So he's
apologist
like,
for this
no.
movie.
Yeah.
So him and Romeo, their relationship,
Yeah.
like you think it's more of a serious thing. That I mean, how long do you think they've been friends? Like it's one of those friendships that they take care of each other. Yeah, he never listens to him, but also Tin Cup kind of always like helps them. I feel like their entire lives. So they're playing a golf course, and Tin Cup isn't listening to Romeo, and then Romeo breaks a club to prove a point. He's like, no, you don't want to hit a driver. You want to hit the 3-wood. And he's like, no, I want to hit the driver. And he's like, and they start getting an argument. And then Cheech, I think, takes out the club and just like breaks it. He's like, fine, hit your driver.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I guess I'm hitting the 3-wood. And then he starts breaking that. And then so Tin Cup breaks the rest of the clubs in his bag. But anyways, so, and then Cheech is like, I'm tired. I quit, man. He's like, you're quit? You're walking away? He's like, yeah, I quit. And then blah, blah, blah. And then, so he has the 7-iron left. He plays the rest of the round with 7-iron.
Yeah.
And they're having drinks or whatever. And the girl that he's interested in is kind of his sports therapist.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, what do you think, Molly? He's like, I thought I was successful. Or I turned up in. She's like, no, you kind of went backwards. He's like, your caddy quit. And they're like, oh, he always quits. And all of his other friends were like, yeah, fucking Romeo the quitter and everything else, where it's like, it's one of those things that just happens. Like they get in a
That's
tub,
their
it boils
friendship
over,
dynamic. Yeah.
They split up, and then
And then the
eventually
next
come
day they're
back
back to
pretty
being
much.
buddies. Yeah.
So that's the way I kind of read into it. Now,
Or you could just listen to him. What a dick.
but listen to him. But
Matt has that 1,000-yard stare on his face right now.
It's like shut the fuck up.
the
Just listen to the guy.
but it's the
You
story.
prick.
So I mean, that's the. And I guess I'll equate this movie to Dune.
Whoa, okay.
Because
I didn't see that coming.
Because where I was searching for a point for that movie, I was like, what's the point if all this shit's just happening just to happen? This is a movie I can kind of see that to where, yeah, he doesn't learn anything, but it is an entertaining story. Because like throughout the movie references like, or immortality or seizing the moment and everything else. And yeah, he doesn't win the tournament, but every other shitty sports movie would have them winning.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I'm trying to think of like other, like Hoosiers, they won, like the greatest game ever played. Oh, he won, or like all this other stuff. Bagger Vance won. Name other sports movies. The Replacements, did they win?
Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans.
They won.
They won. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
The best sports movies, they don't win. League of Their Own. Tin Cup. Rocky.
Tin Cup.
Rocky.
It's like defining a word with the word.
What other movies did they not win? I'm trying to think. I don't watch a lot of Moneyball.
Yeah.
But I mean, they don't win, but they win in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I liked. That's what I like about Tin Cup as far as a golf movie goes, because every other movie is like, and they win. It's like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to build up, especially with golf, because the way the game is played, to be able to portray it on film is tough. And I think that's why I like this movie, is because it went about it in a different way, to where he was able to get his victory, but it was almost kind of heartbreaking to watch at the same time that you couldn't.
Yeah.
It kind of puts yourself as a spectator and as Tin Cup's friend watching him just destroy his life again.
Yeah. I would have felt differently about it if Romeo would have been okay with him taking the shot over and over again. Like, been in agreement with him. Like, you do you, man. We've been through this journey together.
Right.
I know I can't do anything about it. You're just you. I'm here to support you, man. Go ahead, do it. But he still wouldn't listen to him. And it just irked me. It's like, dude, how are you guys still friends?
Well, he kind of, like in the last ball, he was kind of like, you do you. He's like,
Well, he was like,
"This
well-
the last ball you got in the bag, Roy. Get when this is wet, you're disqualified." He's
Oh,
like,
I know.
I can make that shot. Then do it. Quit fucking around.
Well, at that point, he had no choice. It was the last one. What else is he going to say? Lay up? He didn't listen to me the first 11 times he hit it. Anyway.
No, I get what you're saying. Yes, being yeah.
I agree with you, though.
It's
I
a
like
shitty friend thing to do, and it's tough because I think a lot of people in that situation would do the smart thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes that movie work so well, is because not a lot of people would do that. And like, it would be a self-destructive personality that would do that, and it's almost heartbreaking to watch, but it's kind of
Yeah.
like shit. Like, that kind of shot wouldn't have happened any other way. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. He could have hit it the first time.
He could have, but
Yeah.
more likely it won't happen.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, though. The movies that don't, where they don't win in the end, those are good, too. Because you win at something else.
Mm-hmm.
But it just,
Yeah.
no, I just didn't like Kevin Costner's character. No. I thought he was
It was enough to ruin the whole movie.
I'm not
for me.
rooting for him.
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
rooting for him the whole movie.
Yeah. 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 You got to be root. You have to root for the protagonist.
That would be
Otherwise,
it.
what are
yeah,
you?
if you're
what
not
are we
rooting
here
for
for?
it, then
Yeah.
that's an issue.
Yeah.
I actually like his. This is probably one of my favorite characters he plays.
Yeah.
Just because he plays it really well. Just like that kind of like half slob,
Yeah.
but like charming personality kind of a thing. I think when he gets into other even though like I love The Bodyguard, I don't think he does a good job in that movie. I still like him in it, but it's not a strong character for that he's able to play easily. He's good at playing the like Bull Durham, and
Yeah.
same director, writer, and everything. But like those kind of characters, I feel like he's better at than others.
Are you looking forward to the American
Yes.
Saga?
Yes.
Kevin Costner. So, Coop, there's a 2-part Western that Kevin Costner's coming
Yeah,
out with.
we're talking
Okay.
about that, by the way.
and this summer.
Calling it.
That's
I'm,
fine.
I'm putting a pin in the calendar. We can all go
I'm
together.
looking it up right now.
Is
What's
it
called?
an American Saga? I
Yeah.
think part
It's-
one.
It's either going to be phenomenal or it's going to be complete dog shit. But it's Kevin Costner directing a Western, which
Why is it Why is it already two movies long?
because it's an American saga, Coop.
Yeah.
Wu Tang in American Saga. I'd rather watch that.
Wu-Tang. Hey, they ain't nothing to fuck with.
American Saga.
Nice.
Is it
Yeah, I'd
right?
watch it. Because the last Western he directed was
Open Range.
Yeah. Then before that, Dances with Wolves. If you want to consider that a Western.
The Postman.
I mean, I'm all for a
Kind
good
of.
Western.
Yeah.
I grew up watching Westerns with my dad, so that's like I
Yeah.
absolutely love them. I love the horse riding, the shootouts, the
Yeah.
bad guy. Like I just the whole thing, the whole genre is fucking cool to me. So I'm for it.
Have you seen Open Range?
As long no.
You should watch.
Is that
Open
my
Range.
next? Okay.
Yeah,
That's my
you
next
should probably
watch.
that.
I'll
It's a good
watch
movie.
I'll probably watch it when I get home.
It's a good movie.
It's 3 hours.
That's fine. What do I have to do with my life? No wife, no kids. I just watch movies and
Yeah,
Watching
yeah.
movies
Go
and
to work.
crushing puh. That's the coop way.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't just the fact that it starts out with two like is the story not concise? Like is it going to be like a flashlight instead of a laser? That's my only I guess concern about going into
See,
this.
as far as the American Saga,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like different storylines and they kind of like it's just like a sprawling thing, or
Sure.
if it's just a long ass story.
We just won't know until we.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know if it takes
Get into it,
place
yeah.
over. Maybe it could be like 20 years.
Yeah. Which that would be kind
because
of cool.
it kind of like the trailer doesn't really give anything away, but it kind of hints about the transition from the American frontier from when Native American Indians were running things and then slowly like being settled by white people.
Gotcha.
So it could take the place over 50 years or
Gotcha.
something or whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer and I was like, ooh, 2 parts.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
stopped looking into it.
Spread out over what, 6 weeks or something?
I do that too. I'll watch like maybe half a trailer. If I'm like, okay, this looks halfway interesting, then I'm done. I'm not gonna watch like because I want to watch the full,
Yeah.
watching it all of its glory.
But yeah,
in
it's
the
like
theater,
2 parts. I think, 2 months or a month and a half or
A
something.
month and a half between
Yeah.
releases, yeah.
So see part 1 and then go see
Yeah.
part 2. You don't
Sounds
have to
good.
wait like a year and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fuck were we talking? Oh, Kevin Costner.
Golf.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
We went from
and
Tin
golf.
Cup to
Tin Cup.
American Saga. Yeah.
We drift.
Yep.
So your favorite movie, your favorite golf movies.
Ooh.
What
Mine's-
what in your opinion, everyone's opinion, what do you think is the best golf movie and why?
I guess I don't have.
Happy Gilmore because it stands out and it's fun and it's funny and it's rewatchable to me because there's no other one that I can think of that I would want to like just rewatch.
Sit and
It stands,
rewatch.
yeah,
Well,
it stands out.
I found out that my favorite golf movie is in fact not a movie today. It's just a series of skits. Does that count?
That's fine.
Does
That's fine.
Caddyshack count? I think it's rewatchable too. Like movies like this, I intentionally go for years without watching them because I don't want to I don't want it
Dilute
to lose the luster,
Yeah.
when I do watch it. But yeah, I would say Caddyshack just because also I grew up watching. I was a huge fan of Chevy Chase, and so to watch him kind of more or less in his prime, his comedic prime, I enjoy watching him, and I enjoy Bill Murray, and you
Yeah.
know they're only in one scene together. They're both hilarious independently, and so
I didn't watch Caddyshack. I'm sure if I watched it, I might change my
you
mind.
should rewatch
because it is
yeah,
funny.
Yeah, watch it tonight when you get home. We'll
Yeah.
discuss later.
Did yours Tin Cup, Jay?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I don't
I respectfully disagree.
Yeah, it's funny. I like the characters.
Yeah.
I like how it talks about golf without taking itself too seriously, and it doesnn't like try to put it up on a pedestal of
Yeah, that's true. It
but
doesn't do
it
that.
and it boils it down to there's a line in there, to where when you feel like there's nothing in the world that feels as good as a well struck golf shot,
That's very true.
and like it boils the whole reason why people like that game like down to that line.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you feel the tuning fork ring off in your loins or whatever, and it was played off as a joke, but I mean it's kind of true too, to where I feel like it does a very good job, at least for that instance, explaining why people like it without trying to make it be more than what it actually is.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So it's not pretentious with it.
Nope. I prefer, if you're going to watch a Ron Shelton movie, White Man Can't Jump. That's probably my
Oh,
favorite
gosh.
Ron
Yeah.
Shelton movie. Yeah.
I watched that not long ago. Probably within the last 12 months.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Awesome. Yeah.
Hilarious.
I do like that movie.
Yeah. Immediately after watching Tin Cup, I'm like, I gotta watch a good Ron Shelton movie.
Not a fan of Bull Durham.
I do like Bull Durham. Yeah, that's good. Have you ever seen Play It to the Bone?
Yes,
Ugh,
that was weird.
terrible. And then he made another movie after that I'm like, oh, that sucks. I'm trying to think of what it was. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Forgettable.
Yeah, Tin
Yeah.
Cup,
Tin
Happy
Cup.
Gilmore, and
Caddyshack.
Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Nice.
We are
Yeah. Well,
Well,
very risque list right there.
very.
yeah. Nobody could have guessed. Nobody would have seen
Nobody.
those coming.
At least they were different.
I am waiting for a good golf movie.
Yeah.
Another new
Another good
golf
one?
movie. Doesn't have to be a comedy. Like I feel like everyone tries to make the next Caddyshack or make whatever Happy Gilmore. Doesn't need to. If they did like Moneyball, but for golf, that would be
You'd like that?
that'd be good.
Yeah.
That'd be real good.
Nice little tingly sensation
Yeah.
between your
The tuning fork. Between the legs.
got your tuning fork going, Jay.
Yeah, so those are our favorite golf movies, and we also think those are the best golf movies. Do you have a different one? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Or not. Whatever.
Do what you want.
yeah, do what you want.
For Christ's sake.
Not your fucking mother. Jesus. All right. So join us next time. Mm-hmm. Guy Ritchie has a new movie out called
The League of Extraordinary Magical
Negroes
Gentlemen.
of Ungentlemanly Warfare. So, the League of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Warfare? Conduct? I don't know.
Conduct?
Anyways, Guy Ritchie has a new movie coming out. We're not watching it. We're going to be talking about Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels when he was arguably coming out with
The Ministry of
Better
Ungentlemanly.
the Ministry
Warfare.
of
Ungentlemanly Warfare.
There you go.
Jesus. What was the magical Negro movie? The Ministry of Magical Negroes? It has David Allen
The Secret
Greer in it.
Society of Magical.
Secrets. Jesus Christ.
It doesn't matter.
Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Anyways, next week we'll be talking about Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
That's right.
Yep.
Till next time, Jay.
Till next time, Matt.
Till next time, Matt.
Till next time, Coop.
Till next time, Jay.
Till next time, Coop.